رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. صلى الله عليك يا مولانا يا أبا عبد الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. صلى الله عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ثم لتكونوا شيوخا ومنكم من يتوفى من قبل إلى لتبلغوا أجلا مسمى ولعلكم تعقلون. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. For the love of our beloved first Imam, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And for the love of Abu Abdullah al-Husayn, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And for the love of Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Once again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for gracing us with this opportunity and this moment in these holy nights of the holy month of Muharram to continue to acquire the understanding of our faith and understanding of our school of thought from the teachings taught and established by our beloved Master and Savior Abu Abdullah al-Husayn salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Last night, if mu'mineen and mu'minat will recall very well, we looked at the question of whether we have betrayed Abu Abdullah alayhi salam and went ahead to discuss some very pertinent issues that I felt as communities we need to take them on board, and we need to try as much as we can, slowly but surely, to overcome some of those challenges, as you heard just now from our brother Amir Taki of Ahlul Bayt TV. It's very, very important, as I mentioned last night, to have a very powerful and strong media that will definitely cater for the needs of our communities, and especially the needs of the youth of our communities. And as he mentioned when we were coming, I was even discussing with my host that you just subscribe £20 a month. It's like having this subscription of watching football every week. Take a form, subscribe for £20 a month. It will be a strong thawab al-jariyah for you on the day of Qiyamah. Because you are helping out to spread the message of Ahlul Bayt. And if you go to look at £20, really, it's not a big deal. We only need the heart to say, let us also do something and contribute for the growth of the mazhab of Ahlul Bayt alayhi wasallam. As I mentioned, these are only the few TV stations that we have. So therefore, I invite one and all mu'mineen and mu'minat, Azadaran Husayn, in this holy month of Muharram, inshallah, find place in your heart and take out something and give for the spread of the message of our beloved Imams. Now the ayah I've just quoted is Quran 40 verse 67, Surah Al-Ghafir. If you look at this ayah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala explains how He created us. And He outlined different stages of our lives. Where He begins saying, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. He is the one who created you from dust. Some translations say from clay or from sand. Then He goes ahead to say, ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. Then from the clay, He created you from nutfa, from the semen. And then from there Allah went on, from the cloth. And then after that He said, ثُمَّ يُخْرِجُكُمْ طِفْلًا. Then He brought you forth to this world as a child. ثُمَّ لِتَبْلُغُوا أَشُدَّكُمْ. Then from being a child, you reach your strength. Your strength implements, you become youth. Then ثُمَّ لِتَبْلُغُوا شِيُوخًا. And from becoming youth, you then become an old person, senior citizens. Then of course Allah continue with the ayah, وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يَتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلِ. There are those either at a young age or at a stage of being youth or a stage of being an elderly person, they will depart from this world. Then Allah said, لِتَبْلُغُوا أَجَلًا مُسَمَّى وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. That is, every one of us is being given specific timing to live in this world by Allah. Then Allah said, I've outlined all this so that you may reflect. Now, departing from this ayah of Quran, our topic of tonight will be tackling the challenge of disintegration between the older generations of our communities and the younger generations of our communities. Because you see, we cannot shy away from this challenge within our communities. We have challenges of disintegration. Youth are on their own. Elders are on their own. This is for youth. This is for elderly people. You often find seniors and the young ones coming together to do something. If you look, cut across all our communities, we have this serious challenge. And this challenge causes nothing but retard progress. And it brings about blaming one another. Senior citizens blame the young ones. You do not respect us. Young ones blaming the senior citizens. You are always on our way. When we want to progress, you stand on our way. This program is for senior citizens. This program is for the young ones. So it is important as lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt to learn how to solve this problem of disintegration from Karbala al-Muqaddas. Because if you remember very well, in the previous night, beginning of each and every musibah, we will look at some social aspect of Karbala. Like brotherhood existed in Karbala. Tonight, as you know, it is the night of motherhood and fatherhood. Because a son who has a very strong relation with the father and the mother would go. And you will see the love of the mother for that son and the love of the father for that son. But they allow the son to go. Likewise in Karbala, in the camp of Abu Abdullah, there were all the people, senior citizens, and they were youth. No doubt, majority were youth, but there were old people. People like Habib ibn Madahir al-Asadi was a senior citizen. Muslim ibn Awsaja was a senior citizen. Burayr was a senior citizen. Sa'id was a senior citizen, just to name few. And the rest you have Ali al-Akbar, youth. Imam Husayn al-Abidin, youth. And then you have even children. Ali al-Askar. And that young boy who lost his father when he came out, he chanted Amiri Husayn wa ni'mal Amir. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam brought the young and old together under one umbrella. And there was love between the young and the old in the camp of Abu Abdullah. Hence, we are here to commemorate and to take lessons from these great personalities. Now, my examination of tonight, inshallah, it will be brief. It will be of the following stages. The first stage is going to be very quick. We will look at, which you know is just a reminder only, the status of children in Islam and our duties and responsibilities towards our children. Although that is not a topic of discussion, but I find it important before I go to the second and third stage of our life, we need to begin with the first stage. First stage is the status of these children that God Almighty has blessed us with, our sons and our daughters. What are their status? And how do we go about upbringing them? Number two, we will then go to the third stage before coming to the second stage. We'll look at the status of senior citizens, the status of an elderly person within a community or in a house or within society, so that the young ones will first and foremost understand the position of the senior citizens within the community, positions of our mothers and fathers. Yes, I'm not going to talk about like obedience to parents or whatever. We're going to look at generally the status of senior citizens in our community. And then the third stage of the examination will then look at the status of youth in our communities. That what does Islam says about youth? And what is the maqam of youth in our community? And then last but not least, we will conclude by looking at some possible solutions of tackling the challenge of disintegration within our community. You may say, no disintegration. There are, Allah, apparent everywhere you go. Youth are fighting for themselves and the senior citizens are fighting for themselves. We have this problem. And earlier we become serious about it and think of tackling it, the better for us. Otherwise, the young children will grow and will also follow suit. That this one is for old people and this one is for your young ones. So now, number one, what does Islam says about a child? Most of you here, you are young parents. You've got children in your house. And if you do not have children now in your house, we have them in our communities. And very famous tradition of our beloved prophets, he taught us the status of a child. Al-waladu rayhanatun min rayahin al-jannah. Wa rayhanataya min ad-dunya al-hasani wal-husayn. Simple riwayah. The Holy Prophet is saying, a boy is a bundle from the bundles of Jannah. And my bundle in this dunya are Hassan and Husayn. In other words, a child is the comfort of the eyes of the children, of the parents. Hence, Islam comes forward and say, these children, they have a right over us. And today, if you really look at the type of lives we are living, we don't even have time for our children, by the way. Oh, no, we don't have time. Sometimes, instead of spending time with our children, we give them gadgets and we leave them. When the most important capital that a parent can give to their children is to invest time. So very quickly, as I said, I'm not talking about tarbiyah of children. Islam says, and if you are not married, take this on board. When you get married, at least you know. And those of us who are married and we do not have children, take it on board. Let it serve as a reminder only. And those of us who have got children, let's take it serious. Because the Holy Prophet mentioned, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Each and every one of you is regarded like a shepherd. And each one will be questioned of the flocks given to them by Allah. Wallah, Allah will question you the upbringing of your children. Whether you expose them to more music or you expose them to watching things about Ahlul Bayt alayhi wasallam. Because children, their hearts are plain. How you move them is how you will get them. But if you wait for them until they get to that level, you may lose them completely. And the Holy Prophet mentioned, you will be questioned of how you raise your children. Because these children, mu'mineen and mu'minat, they are gift, they are amana, they are ma'sumin at this age. Now, each and every parent, please, brothers and sisters, has three major responsibilities towards their children. Three. And these three responsibilities, as you know very well, they said, upbringing of a child is 50% before birth and 50% after. In advance, before even you get married, the upbringing of a child begins. So the three major responsibilities you have, number one, they call it preparatory right of a child. Hukuk al-i'dadi. Every child has some right in advance before even the father and the mother think of getting married to one another. I'm just giving you glossaries of this only. What are the preparatory rights? Three. Number one, the child is got the right to be born healthy. Rasulullah mentioned, "Igtarru wala taduhu." Go for health. In other words, before marriage, now we have it in our communities, alhamdulillah. You need to know the health status of each other. Even if it's something minimal, you don't have to hide. Otherwise, you'll be violating the right of the child. Let alone the right of either the father to be or the mother to be. Islam is not saying when a person is diagnosed of something or you get to know you should not marry him, it's up to you. But it is the right of the child that his mom or his dad know their status. It's not only about HIV or others. They must know your health status is crucial. That's number one. That's preparatory. Number two, haqqul ikhtiyar. The child is got the right of a good mother and a right of a good father. So in choosing is crucial. You don't choose for choosing sake. Prophet taught us, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلْقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوا تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. If he or she comes to you of a good akhlaq and he or she is religious, marry him. If you fail to do so, there will be corruption on the face of the earth. Although today, unfortunately, some of us, we're only looking at money. Some of the fathers, they don't want to give a boy their daughter. Why? It's only money. So therefore, it is the right of the child to be fathered or mothered by a person of good akhlaq and behavior. And the last preparatory right of a child before the child is born, which is also very, very important. The child is got the right to be born out of wedlock. Haqqu Shari'i. It's the right of a child that Islam laid out. The second major right is Haqqul Janiniya. Is the right of an embryo. What does it mean? Meaning, when the mother is expecting, a child has two major rights over her and over the father. The first one, the child has a right to be born while alive. So these whole discussions of abortion then comes in. Where does Islam fit in? That's a separate discussion. But the child has got the right to arrive here kicking and living. You don't throw him. And then the second last right, which is the of embryo, is that the child has got the right for his mother to be fed of lawful stuff. Because the food that the mother eats is what makes the child. If a father, you bring grocery out of rigging taxes, out of going through NHS and do whatever you want to do, and then you buy food, you bring it, you are violating the right of your children. Allah. Sometimes you see things are happening, you don't know why that child like go do self-introspection. I always tell people, you father, but you've got child of how many? 20 years. Can you guarantee your child that whatever you fed him right from the first day of his arrival up until today is halal? Can you guarantee your children that there is no hoo-ha here? It's the right of the child. And this affects the upbringing. Hence, Islam said before birth and after birth. But the last one is the right after the birth of the child. Which there are so many rights. First of them, Islam said, of course, give a child a good name which you know. Because names follow. And the best name, Allah, are the names of Allah and the names of Ahlul Bayt. And then the second thing after the birth of the child is to teach the child the mannerism. How to talk. How to greet. And the best way to do that is to do it by leading by example. That's the best form of doing it. You don't sit and tell the child, do Amr bil Maruf la. Let the child see. Today many parents complain, our children are not coming to the mosque. Allah, you when you come, you stand outside and expect them to come. A miracle will not happen. A lot of people cry, they are not coming, but you are also not coming. You are standing out there smoking until the program is over. And expect the child to come. Even the youngsters, I am telling you, if you behave like that, wallah, when you become fathers, you will wish your children to do the same by coming, but you will struggle to get them right. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the sake of your children. Although you don't want, but you have to do it because you want the right children. This is what they call tarbiyah ghayri mubashir. So teach them mannerism. Don't sit in your house and gossip about others in front of your children. They will gossip. Teach them is their right. Don't shout at their mother in their presence and you want them to respect you. And don't betray the father in their presence and you want them to respect you. Leave by example. These are the rights of our children over us. Now let's leave that. There are so many rights to go to the next. The status of senior citizens, elderly persons, our mothers and our fathers. all the old generations of this community, and now I'm talking to the youth now, know the status of the older generations. And then you as old generations also know your status and respect yourself. I'm going to do this in a very simple way through the prophetic tradition and that of our beloved imams. Just to understand, an elderly person, be it your father or your mother or someone of the age of your father or the age of your mother, Islam will cherish them and respect them. Islam will honor them. Look at this riwayah. Our beloved Chief Imam mentioned, من إجلال الله تبارك وتعالى إجلال ذي شيبة المسلم. He said one of the examples of respecting and honoring Allah is honoring a person of a grey hair. Yani if you respect an elderly person in the way you talk to him or her, in the way you approach the person, you are not doing favor to anyone, but you are respecting Allah. Allah, today look at some of the youth, how they talk to elderly persons. Maybe because of their education, or they think they are smarter than the elderly person. I don't know. But our Chief Imam, if you are a Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and you are Husayni, this is the riwayah, where our beloved Prophet mentioned, لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ لَمْ يُوَكِّرْ كَبِيرَنَا وَيَرْحَمْ صَغِيرَنَا. He's not one of us, he's not my Shia, who fails to respect our elders and to sympathize with our young ones. Now we're just limiting to the elders, we'll go to the young ones. Yani if you do not respect an elderly person, you are violating the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Old lady comes to the mosque for majlis. A young lady, you come. Old lady is struggling to have a place to sit. Common akhlaq dictate that when an elderly person enters, stand up, give your place to that elderly person. That is respecting which Islam talks about. In Niyaz time, you find an elderly person waiting for their food, but the young ones are busy eating. That is not Islamic akhlaq. We need to come back to akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. You don't reply back to an elderly person. There is a way of responding to an elderly person. When ayah of Quran said, don't raise your voices above that of the Prophet, we have a riwayah that says also, don't raise your voices above that of an elderly person. Either your parent or people of the ages of your parents. Now let's go to the second riwayah. Second riwayah, our beloved Chief Imam again. He said, Inna min ijlalillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala ijlal al-mu'min zi shayba. فمن أكرم مؤمنا فبكرامة الله بدأ ومن استخف بمؤمن ذي شيبة أرسله الله إليه من يستخف به قبل موته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. You know what Imam Jafar mentioned? Imam again is telling us, young ones, if you want to be regarded as someone who respect and honor Allah, you have to respect a mu'min who has grey hair. Meaning an elderly person, meaning senior citizens. Then Imam said, فَمَنْ أَكْرَمَ مُؤْمِنًا فَبِكَرَامَةِ اللَّهِ بَدَى. If you respect a mu'min, here mu'min meaning an elderly person, you should know that you are indeed respecting Allah. Then Imam said, whoever undermine and disrespect an elderly person, Allah will send him someone to disrespect him before he leaves this world. Allah is tit for tat, man. If you disrespect someone's father, or your father, or an elderly person in the community, Imam Jafar is saying, someone will be sent to disrespect you even before your death. So therefore, young ones, I call you one and all. These elders that we have in our communities, we need to cherish them. We need to respect them. Because the Holy Prophet mentioned, ثلاثة لا يجعل حقهم إلا منافق معروف بالنفاق. Prophet said there are three groups of people, or there are three groups of people. Nobody violates their rights or is ignorant of their rights except hypocrite who is known for hypocrisy. Yani these three, if you pretend the ignorance of their rights, our beloved Prophet is saying, you are hypocrite. The first one, Zu Shayba, an elderly person. Anyone who violates the right of an elderly person, Allah, Rasulullah is saying, you are munafiq. You are hypocrite. And you know hypocrite, Quran mentioned, Innal munafiqina fi darkil asfali min Allah. Munafiq, they will be beneath the fire. You don't want to get there. This is normal social norms. These are social etiquettes. Not only found in Islam, but found in also other religious denominations. Because you will grow old and would expect your children to respect you. Allah. Unless if you die quickly. But you will also grow old if you disrespect these seniors that we have in our communities who strove very hard with their sweat and built these communities for us. Your grandchildren will pull you down. And then of course the second one is Hamilul Quran. Someone who holds onto Quran said, don't play ignorance of their rights. And then the last one said Imam al-Adil, a leader who is just. Don't play ignorance of the right of that leader. But my point is the first one, Zu Shayba. And here the good thing about this ayah, hadith is what? It's not saying even Muslim. It's saying any elderly person. This one. Allahu Akbar. Any elderly person. Because today is a challenge. Not only within Islamic communities, even non-Muslim communities. Family values are going down. No family values anymore. Today is only gadget and nothing else. Barakati is not there. There is no respect. And that is very, very important. And last but not least, not to belabor the point of the maqam and the status of an elderly person. Rasulullah is telling us, فَمَنْ أَكْرَمَ ذَا شَيْبَةٍ أَمِنَا مِنَ الْفَزِئِ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. Whoever respects an elderly person, he is immune from the punishment of the day of Qiyamah. Allah, sometimes you may pray, Salah, Salah, but you undermine your parents. You undermine our seniors. That is why Islam gave us these following recommendations. How you deal with them. But this is not to tackle the disintegration. Disintegration, I will tackle it later. Number one, when you meet them, first greet them before they greet you. Elderly person. These are Islamic keto. These are simple. These are not philosophical. Like what we've been discussing. This is very simple. Mathematics, 1 + 1, 2. When you meet an elderly person, begin with greetings. Don't expect him to greet you first. But of course, an elderly, if he doesn't greet you, it is the akhlaq of a Muslim to greet. Number 2, when an elderly person begin to share their past experience, even if it's boring, listen. It's respect that Islam says. Sometimes it may be boring. You don't want to hear. But for the respect that Islam said we should accord them, listen to them. And number 3, when you have your program, sometimes invite elderly person. Let them feel bad. Don't let them feel that they are ignored. You are there and they are there. And lastly, those of you who have got young children, teach your children to respect the elderly persons. Now let's go to the status of a youth. So look what Islam said. Young ones should respect elderly persons. The same way elderly persons also should sympathize with the young ones. You cannot say no because Islam said they should respect you, so you're going to violate their right also. But before we look at the status of a youth, I want to advise myself and advise the youth, as I mentioned the other night we had question and answer session. Who is a youth? Who is a youth? So, you know, they said there are two definitions: biological and psychological. Biological is a youth. It's a debate. Some say from 13 to 39 or to 40. It's a debate there. But it's along that line, that ages. Psychological definition is what fascinates me. A youth is someone who is creative and productive. You cannot be a youth if you fold your arms and you are not creative and productive in your life. You have to be religiously creative and productive. That's the definition of a youth. And of course, it comes with certain features. And that is where I want my fathers, our senior citizens, to understand. You've been there. To be a youth, come with certain packages. And you need to understand those packages. Number one, a youth is someone who is in haste when it comes to decision making. So sometimes in a community, you find certain things and our youth won't take decision. Don't get tired of them. That is their status. A youth, he is in a hurry to take a decision. But I know sometimes elderly person will delay. Youth are like that. It doesn't mean that when they are in a hurry to take decision, they are right. You can still dialogue and discuss. Number two feature of a youth is that a youth wants change now and then. So that is why youth want change in the way we conduct our majlis. Don't get them wrong. They find the way we are doing our majalis are boring. It may not be boring to you, but that is their status. How do you? You're going to bash them? You're going to insult them? You're going to tell them you're not respecting us? No! Bring them together. Let's talk. Let's discuss. It is a youth stage. You are used to Maulana me sitting, giving you all the fada'il, and you cry and go. They want some complicated philosophical matters to be discussed on them. They don't want to only we come fada'il. Fada'il are excellent, are crucial, we need them. But a youth is a different ball game. Because it is their nature and it's a feature that a youth want to see changes in the way things are done. Hence, if you look at our Islam, Islam reached where it is today because of the effort of our youth. I begin with two prophets before we come to our beloved prophets. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. What does Quran says? وَمَا نَرَاكَ اتَّبَعَكَ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ أَرَاذِلُنَا بَادِيَ الرَّأْيِ. Allah is saying, those who obeyed Ibrahim were youth. Meaning the supporters of Ibrahim alayhi salam were not old people. Only few handful old people. Old people did not want to follow Ibrahim. Same thing Musa alayhi salam. فَمَا كَانَ لِمُوسَى إِلَّا ذُرِّيَّةٌ مِنْ قَوْمِهِ عَلَى فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ. That those who were with Musa, they were Zurriya min qawmihi. They were family, they were members of his family. But if you go to commentary, he said they were youth who were around Musa. That is why our beloved prophets invite our senior citizens, fathers and mothers. What does Rasulullah said? Alaykum bishababi khayra. Be kind and good to the youth. Reach out to the youth. Talk to them. Then Prophet said, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بَعَثَنِي بِالْحَقِّ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا فَخَالَفَنِي الشُّيُوخُ وَحَالَفَنِي الشَّبَابُ. Because Allah sent me with this message to warn and give good news. But then the elders went against me and the young ones obeyed and followed. So, Amir al-Mu'mineen, how old was he when he went to Rasulullah? Youth, young. Al-Hasan wal-Husayn Sayyid al-Shabab Ahl youth. This religion did not grow through the effort of an elderly person. Yes, there were elders who played their part, but majority of the companions of Rasulullah were youth. Ashab Kahf, innahum fityatun amanu bi rabbihim wazidnahum huda. They were fitya. Fitya means youth, young generation, young blood. They believe in their Lord. And Allah said, we increase them in Huda. So I'm trying to say, youth also, you occupied a prominent estate within the religion of Islam. And you must understand your position as youth. Don't waste your time. Be religious. Be true lover of Ahlul Bayt. At this time, you can do much better than you become an old person. Wallah. Don't come and linger around and smoke and go. Find something doing to improve your religious status in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, when you grow old, you regret. And that is why we are told, even the Imam of our time, when he arrives, he will arrive as a youth. Imam will not arrive as an elderly person. Imam will arrive as a youth. As a youngster, if you like. So therefore, it's important as seniors of our communities to understand, yes, our youth are faced with some challenges. One of the challenges the current day youth face with, they think that they are independent. And this is a killer. They think they know it all. What do they know, these old people? Their time has passed. La 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 la. Amir al-Mu'minin said, Ra'ayu shaykhi ahabbu ilayya min jild al-fatat. Amir al-Mu'minin, he said, the opinion of an elderly person is so dear to me than the skin of a young boy. It's an expression to say that, look, no matter how strong you are in your knowledge or in your intellect, the mind of an elderly person, you can get it. He said, the one who sleeps before you, wake up before you. Allah, no matter how I claim to be Sheikh, this, Sheikh, no, my parents are higher than me. Because they've seen what I've not seen yet. And I can't claim to see what they have seen. Because they woke up before me for many years. So there's a challenge. Watch that as a youth, as a youngster. Inshallah, we'll have one time to discuss more about this. The second challenge, of course, is challenge of, excuse my word, unlawful relationships, which is a separate discussion that can also be tackled. Youth are faced with that challenge. As they grow, they are faced with that challenge. And the third challenge is that they are easily influenced. They go to the campus, they meet some friends, they come home, they tell the entire home, you are wrong, we are right. Easily influenced. It's a social media. You meet a friend, you think you know. So it's always important to sit with elders and get their ideas and get their opinions. Now let's come to the last stage of my examination. How do we tackle the problem of disintegration? Because wallah, with disintegration, my father and my mother. Look at the community. Oh, we need Urdu speaker. We need English speaker. We need Urdu Maulana. We need... With dialogue, you can solve this overnight. You will never get it absolute that one or absolute this one. You have to get someone. Otherwise, you remain hanging. 1 year will come, nobody comes. Another year comes, because say, do we get the Urdu one or do we get the English one? Disintegration retards progress. It retards progress. Since when you've been looking for as an al, that one Urdu, that one English, that one, no, elders Urdu. So who is going to compromise? No progress. We need to move forward. No, Muharram Majlis is this one, that one. This one, that one. How do we solve the problem? You cannot get it absolute your way, and you cannot lose it. As I was telling them last time in philosophy, they said, what you cannot get all, you cannot miss all. So disintegration causes or retard progress. And disintegration bring about disrespect sometimes. Sometimes we find young ones disrespect the elders. And elders also, when they open their mouth to talk, they don't talk well. But having in mind all the status that Islam mentioned for young and old, how do we tackle this integration problem? Look at it. Simple way. My fathers and my mothers, we need to understand this. That the timing of the youth is different from your times. And this current days or age has two major features. And inshallah, I mention this, my fathers and mothers, they will know what I'm talking about. This generation, they call it Jil Ittisal. And before it used to be Jil Tawasul. What does it mean? Current generation is a global village. In the sense that people have 1,000 friends, but they've not even met them. From Facebook, how many friends you have? You don't know Allah, most of them. This is a current generation, is the figure. What do you do? But now, today, they open up, they've got access to information. But your time, Jili Tawasul, if you had wanted to make friendship, you would meet the person. That is why friendship of yesterday has more barakah than friendship of today. Our fathers, when they meet, some of you are from Zanzibar, huh? When they are Zanzibari friends, for Zanzibari, they are known for barazas, you know. When Zanzibaris come, maybe from Dar es Salaam, it's like the friendship was established yesterday. But Allah, today I make friend in the morning, the friendship is over at night. Today you find the youngsters, they write on their Facebook page, guys, if you want to ask me some difficult questions, I will block you. I don't want. Well, that's why today you see how many rate of divorces do we have. Because the base is crazy. So, but my fathers, you need to understand that is the nature. Number two, the current generation, they are aktharu nakda. They've got inquisitive minds. You will not sit on them and tell, hey, you'll go to fire, and you set them to keep on. They will ask you why. Your times are easy. You are told fire is alhamdulillah. You are told alhamdulillah. Today they ask. Even these children, they ask. You cannot take them for granted. Hence, I believe also a member needs some sort of reformation going forward. Because you cannot tell them everything, they keep quiet. Your time, Barakah, your father tell you, sit here, you will sit until he comes back. Today, Allah tell your son of 3 years, sit here. You will have a headache the whole day. It's a different ball game. So, as Amir mentioned, although some scholars said it's not riwayah, al-muhim, you know that tradition very well. Imam Ali said, لا تفسروا أولادكم على آدابكم فإنهم ولدوا في زمان غير زمانكم. Amir said, don't interpret your children according to your times, because they are born time different from your time. Their times are different. So now how do you solve the problem? Now this is a suggestion. And I'm not saying it's exclusive. I just got it from my own readings. Number one, way of tackling this integration. Our elders find time to understand the current time. Don't say it's your way or the highway. Although sometimes I understand our fathers, because the youth, you don't come mosque. They said, don't bring a youth speaker, you come. Okay, Muharram is different, Ramadan is different. I don't use Muharram and Ramadan to judge anything. But if you come normal program, you find it's only elders who are filling in the mosque. And the youth will fight, we need that, we need this. But zero, hakuna kitu, that's Muharram. So the youth also you need to pick up. If you ask for something, you have to commit for it. Don't say, no, what English speaker or English Maulana, come, you not there. It's better you get the one that the elders want and then you move on. But then I urge my fathers and my mothers, if we truly want to tackle the problem of a disintegration, understand their times are different from your time. They go through difficulties. Some of them cannot sleep because there are mortgages to pay. A lot of people have got mortgages. Some have got school student loan. I always tell, if you have your parents who are looking after you, kiss their hand and make substitution. Oh, there are those who are struggling. I always challenge the youth of our communities. The Khoja youth. I said, you see, your grandfathers or your fathers, they built this mosque for you. Where are you taking it to? Now is your challenge. They contributed all this money for the mosque to be built. Because today youth, you ask them, give money, 100, 50, 20. But elders, 10,000, 20,000, fundraising. See, the elders give, so the youth also need to up your games. Don't be stingy. The more you give, the more Allah open for you. So you have to up your game. So number one, let's understand their times. Number two, hiwar. There must be dialogue. Now and then, there must be dialogue between the young and the old. We need to sit together. We need to dialogue. We need to discuss things. Maybe in a year, once, twice in a year, there must be a program where you bring the elders to share their experience and youth also to share their challenges and see how. But there must be dialogue. Not we come to the community, seniors sitting there, young ones are sitting there. We need hiwar and dialogue. That's number two. Number three, patience. Young ones, be patient with our elders. Our elders, I give you an example. When I moved to Birmingham, okay, first day beginning to lead Salah. But I know this experience because these hardcore old people, sometimes there is nothing you can. So I came, Allah, Bicharo Sheikh Nuru. I stood there, Allahu Akbar, leading Salah, okay? So Kunut, Allah, you recite what you want to recite in Kunut, so long as it's mahfur from Ahl al-Bayt. So I recited what I'm normally used to recite in Nairobi, okay? Immediately after Salah, we were greeting, some elderly, two elderly people came. No, Sheikh, you've changed the Salah. Well, I said, Habibi, what was the problem? No, you've changed. Because at the end of Qunut, you must say Bijahi Muhammad. You didn't say Bijahi Muhammad, you said was Sallallahu. We are not used to this was Sallallahu. We are used to Bijahi. I said, no, but there's no. You've just came today and you are changing the Salat. So therefore, young ones, sometimes be patient. It's they came of an age, and that is the time. Sometimes they say something, don't get discouraged. I know some of the youngsters, they said, I will not go to the mosque because those elders, too much problems. Too much. I don't understand. You will also tomorrow become a father like them. Well, youth will come and say, Thursday, Yasin, Hadithul Kisa, Dua Kumail, the lecture. Youth will tell you it's too long. Sinners, no. Allah, remove Yasin and see, you will be finished. But these are the challenges that we are facing in our communities, by the way. So we need sabr, we need patience. And with the dialogue I mentioned as a second phase, inshallah, we'll be able to get somewhere. No, some youth will come and say, why only do I Kumail every Thursday? Why can't you maybe one Thursday we divide maybe Dua Tawbah and recite part of it? Why sometimes we can recite Dua Al-Kama, for instance? Why only Dua? No, elders, no. Without Dua Kumail, Jumaira is over. Although Islamically it's not like that, but understand them and understand where they are coming from. It worked for them and it made them strong and religious, so you cannot remove them out of it overnight. It needs dialogue. And not every situation you have to divide programs. We must have programs together. Otherwise, if every situation you want to divide programs, this disintegration will continue. And lastly, there must be love between the young and the old. So I will say to my fathers, to my seniors and mothers, every youth here, take him like a son to you. And show that love. And the same way I'm calling the young youngsters, every elderly person here, take him like a father to you or like a mother. And by so doing, inshallah, we will be able to get somewhere and emulate Abu Abdullah and what he established in his camp. And no doubt tonight, as you all know very well, it is the night of mothers and fathers. Mothers, fathers brought up children who became youth and they were willing to sacrifice. As narration mentioned, the first of Bani Hashim, who went out and became Shaheed, was Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. The first of Bani Hashim. And can you imagine the difficulties that the daughters of Rasulullah and the daughters and sons of Amir al-Mu'mineen went through? What is that difficult? Imagine you woke up in the morning and you hear the voice of your son with azan, Allahu Akbar. But you knew that was the last azan. You knew after that azan, there will be no any azan anymore. Imagine when Abu Abdullah and Bibi Layla heard that azan of Ali al-Akbar, and they knew that after that azan, they will not hear any more adhan from Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. And as you know very well, we are told in the tradition that if there is someone who is closest in terms of resemblance to the Holy Prophet, was Ali al-Akbar. They said he resembled Prophet in his akhlaq, in his intellect, and in his look, Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. That is why narration mentioned, when he came out, some companions of Umar ibn Sa'ad were confused whether it was Ali al-Akbar or it was Rasulullah. Although they knew Rasulullah was not there. But we are told in the traditions they were confused. Is it Rasulullah who is here or is it Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam? And you know that relationship between Abu Abdullah and Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. One of our marja narrates, he said, I dreamt about Abdullah in my dream. But when I dreamt about Abdullah, I saw arrows all over around the body of Abu Abdullah. Like the way scholars mention, Abu Abdullah was around arrows like a hedgehog. Now there are all arrows around the body of Abu. He said the next day, I had another dream again, and I saw there were no arrows, only 2 arrows left on the body of Abu Abdullah. He said, I asked my Mawla Abu Abdullah, yesterday I saw you in the pools of arrows, but today only 2 arrows on your body. What was the response? Abu Abdullah said, Wallah, the tears of my Shia remove all the arrows. But there are 2 arrows that the tears of my Shia will not remove. He asked, Ya Abu Abdullah, what are the 2 arrows? He said, one arrow is the arrow on the chest of Ali al-Akbar. And the other arrow is the arrow on the neck of Ali al-Asghar. That is why those of you have visited Karbala, and may Allah bless you with the visitation of Abu Abdullah. You remember very well when Imam Husayn al-Abidin came back to Karbala al-Muqaddasa for 40. When he came to join the head of Abu Abdullah to the body of Abu Abdullah, he heard a voice coming from Abu Abdullah calling him Zayn al-Abidin. Place my infant baby on my chest. But not only the infant, place Ali al-Akbar by my feet. Allahu Akbar. So in other words, Ali al-Akbar and Ali al-Asghar are all buried with Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. Narration says Ali al-Akbar, of course, made the azan on the 10th day of Muharram. And that was the last azan. But after the azan, when the time was up, narration said, Ali al-Akbar approached the father. He said, Father, grant me permission to go and defend. The ulama mentioned that each and every companion who came to Abu Abdullah for permission, Abu Abdullah would hesitate to grant permission. But the only one when he came, Abu Abdullah did not hesitate to grant permission, was Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. Abu Abdullah granted Ali permission. Ali prepared himself. As Ali was about to go, Abu Abdullah called him. He said, Ali, go and bid farewell to your mother Layla. Go and bid farewell to Sayyida Zainab alayha salam. We are told the moment Ali entered Khaymaga, all the ladies began to cry. Zainab said, Ali, you have reminded me of Rasulullah. Narration says Ali came out and he rode the horse. Ali began to head toward the battlefield. But look at this line. Look at the love Abu Abdullah had for Ali al-Akbar. Like the way our fathers and mothers have love for us, isn't it? Abu Abdullah, as Ali was heading toward the battlefield, Abu Abdullah was walking slowly behind Ali. All of a sudden, Ali stopped and he turned. Father, haven't you granted me permission to go? He said, oh, Allah, I've granted you permission, but may Allah never show you a day when you know your son is going and he will not come back. It's like Abu Abdullah telling Ali, Ali, you will know this the day you become a father. We are told Ali al-Akbar went to the battlefield. Ali fought and fought and fought. Ali defended and defended. We are told each moment Ali would kill someone, he would turn and called out, Wa alayka salam ya Aba Abdullah. But you know what really so hurtful is what? Layla, the mother of Ali. Layla had no energy to look at the battlefield. Layla came out. You know what she would do? She would only look at the complexion of the face of Abu Abdullah. That would inform Layla if Ali was alive or Ali was dead. All of a sudden, Layla saw the complexion of the face of Abu Abdullah changing. She called out, oh Abu Abdullah, is Ali dead? Abu Abdullah said, Layla, go and make dua, because Allah promised to answer the dua of a mother for her son. That was when Layla made the famous dua. She said, Ya Allah, you took Yusuf back to Yaqub. Bring my Ali back to me. He said, Ya Allah, you took Ismail back to his mother. Bring my Ali back to me. Narration says, before she would land with the dua, Ali came back, was saying, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, Al-Atash. Fast, 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 fast. When Ali came, Abu Abdullah approached Ali. Abu Abdullah hugged Ali. And Ali was calling out, Father, fast, fast. You know, narration says, what did Abu Abdullah do? Abu Abdullah placed his tongue into the mouth of Ali. Just for Ali to get some wetness. But you know what Ali said to his father? He said, Father, your mouth is drier than my mouth. But then Abu Abdullah said to Ali, Ali, go, you will soon meet Rasulullah and you will quench your thirst. That was when Ali headed back towards the battlefield. Ali fought and fought and fought and fought. All of a sudden, Ali called out, Wa alayka salam ya Aba Abdullah. You know what happened? It's very painful, wallah. Narration says, when Ali called out for the second time, Abu Abdullah knew now Ali was going. Abu Abdullah came out. When he came out, he took a wrong direction towards the body of Ali. You know who called Abu Abdullah? Sakina. She said, Father, where are you going? He said, Sakina, I'm going to the body of Ali. Abu Abdullah said, oh. Sakina said, Father, Ali is there and you are going there. Abu Abdullah looked at Sakina and said, it kills me to know Ali is dying. Allah, another point is this point. Every companion who would call Husayn alayhi salam, Husayn will rush to the body of that companion. But with Ali, narration says Abu Abdullah walked to the body of Ali. As Abu Abdullah was approaching the body of Ali, Ali was raising one hand and he was hiding one hand. Ali was raising one hand and he was hiding one hand. Abu Abdullah was used to seeing Ali coming and hugging him. When Abu Abdullah got to the body of Ali, he realized that he was covering dagger with the left hand and lifting one hand. Because you know how they killed Ali? They dug on his chest. This is the final moment. We are told when Abu Abdullah realized that Ali was covering dagger with the left hand. Abu Abdullah stood and faced towards Najaf al-Ashraf. He said, Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'minin. Oh my beloved father, you lifted the door of Khaybar with your hand. Come and see your son lifting dagger from the chest of his son. Let me leave you with the last moment. Allahu Akbar. The final moment. Narration says Ali would smile and Ali would cry. Ali would smile and Ali would cry. Abu Abdullah realized Ali smiling at the same time Ali was crying. As the soul of Ali was going, Abu Abdullah asked Ali, oh my Ali, why smiling and crying at the same time? You know what Ali said? He said, Wallah, my father, I smiled because I see Rasulullah. He said, Baba Ali, why are you crying? He said, Wallah, I cry because I see Fatima slapping on her cheek.
ज़ईफ़ दौड़ रहा है तेरे पीछे